Alright, now for the top 5, and at number 5 is My Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't be surprised, it's another female character from Yu-Gi-Oh! And she is probably one of the most popular female characters out of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not saying Teo wasn't popular, she was, but this was the kind of character that everybody liked to see because, well, think about it this way. She's a very in-your-face character, very kind of like a lone wolfette, if you will, or wolfness, if you will, kind of like that. But she does become friends with Yugi and the others, but still maintains that kind of lone wolfette, uh, a lone vixen kind of attitude. She's very resourceful, like any other female character. One of her main playing card deck, if you will, is centers around Harpy Ladies, 80s, which she uses. Um, During the early part of the series, she kind of is like a cocky, self-centered, cheating kind of girl because she puts perfume on her cards and she could sense, like she doesn't have to look, she could just tell which cards, she needs right off the bat. And she gets basically revealed, and this is kind of like revealed to her by Joey. Like Joey's finally, I guess, thanks to Yu-Gi-Oh's teachings and Yugi's teachings and trainings and advice, kind of figures it out. Says, "Hey, I know how you're doing this. You're using perfume to you spray different colored perfumes or scents of perfume on the cards, so you can tell which one is which without looking at it." And it kind of takes her by surprise, but in the end, it does teach her a lesson in humility, and because of this, she ends up becoming friends with Yugi and the others. And she maintains friends with them for a long time. Now, as we went into the second season, towards the end of the first season into the second season, it I guess suggests that she kind of has feelings, kind of like has a crush on Joey, or and vice versa. And she does this very well, but playing up to the fact that even though Yugi beat the Dark Merrick, or the Yami Merrick, and freed everybody from the Shadow Realm that was trapped by him, she plays up the fact that she has not been returned yet until Joey said that he'd be willing to give up anything to have her back, and then that's when she kind of reveals that her and Joey's sister Serenity were playing a big joke on him at the end. And she basically tells you would do anything. There's some cards I've been wanting to. You get the idea of some of you that have seen the episode. But as we got into like the third and fourth season, mostly like the third season or something like that, or fourth season, I can't really think of it. Depends on how you look at it. She was kind of manipulated by a guy that was manipulated by some kind of mystical beast in the past, and she kind of temporarily turned on her friends until Joey sacrificed his soul to save her. And so, anyway, and that saved her, which kind of broke the control that this guy had on her. I can't think of his name right now. But overall, My Valentine is the kind of character, like I mentioned with the character, with something like with Mallory, like I said, she's the kind of character that gets in your face and says what's on her mind and will do, I guess, sometimes whatever it takes to win. But overall, very, very good character, and that is why she is number 5 in the top 11 female animated countdown. Alright, number 4 in the top 11 animated female countdown. I may get some flack for this, because the Nostalgia Critic rated her number 1 on his list that is no longer part of the of this video site, because I guess of what was said in it or something. But that character, as you can see, is Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the 2 Roger Rabbit shorts in the comics. She was voiced, I believe, I'm trying to think, by Kathleen Turner in the movie and I think in the cartoons. I really can't say much about her without getting in trouble, but she was a very innovative character for this time. I think it kind of took a lot of people by surprise that an animated female toon of a human stature, if you will, was married to a toon rabbit. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you first saw the film, just like the character Eddie Valiant, which was played by Bob Hoskins, you think to yourself, okay, this Jessica Rabbit is probably a statuesque female rabbit. Little do you know that she's, a real human toon, a human toon female. But she is resourceful, I'll tell you this. There's one scene towards the end of the film, where one of the weasels tries to check her for the will, puts his hand where it doesn't belong, and then he gets basically caught, if you will. Basically, she has like a bear trap, catch his hand. Overall, she is a very resourceful lady. She, the entire time she's in the movie makes it. You think she's one of the suspects, if not the suspect, of murdering Marvin Acme and R.K. Maroon, but then you find out she actually is covering or trying to protect what she has heard from Acme before he died. That the fact that Judge Doom wants to get his hands on Toontown, and that's why she was kind of like keeping her distance. She didn't really want to reveal anything. So overall, we find out she's just trying to help out, trying to help her husband keep his job, kind of tells the truth, and we find out that overall that even though she kind of, as she would say, she's not bad, but she's drawn that way. We find out that even though she's that, she is a very good-hearted character. So that's why at number 4 on the top animated female countdown, Jessica Rabbit is at that spot. Hey everyone, now for number 3 on the top 11 animated female countdown, and it's none other than Minerva Mink from Animaniacs. Now, like I told you at the beginning, this is going to involve human toons and anamorphic toon characters and all that. And the reason she's number 3 is because she's a very funny character when you watch her. I mean, true, she had 2 animated shorts, that's it, because of the way she was drawn and described, but very funny character. I mean, when you watch the first cartoon she appears in, which is Moon Over Minerva, not Meet Minerva, but Moon Over Minerva, and this is actually resolved in, I think, the second volume of Animaniacs DVD sets. I mean, she is just an hilarious character, especially when the men go crazy for her, and everything, just the way they react to her. I mean, it just makes you laugh. What happens, and then all of a sudden, when she sees a handsome guy, she goes completely bonkers. She goes probably a little worse. She probably goes like maybe 5 times crazier than the guys. There's a scene in Moon Over Minerva where Wilford, before he kind of transforms under the moonlight into his Fabio kind of like text character, to where he just literally melts down to the ground, and all you see is his head left, and he says he can't feel his legs. Well, of course, you probably know that naturally when Minerva sees the Fabio version of him, she will melt, right? Of course. But she doesn't melt to the point that her head's just sticking up and she can still talk. No. What's hilarious about her, and this is why she's number 3, is because she literally does melt, but she melts to the point that she has to be picked up by Wilford and his Fabio alter ego, literally picked up like a wet rag towel, because when she melts down, she's literally melted completely into a puddle to the point that you could just walk away for an hour, walk away and do something for maybe an hour or 2, come back, and she would still be laying there in a puddle. But basically, that's why she's hilarious, because sometimes she'll do something 5 times different than what the guy does when she goes crazy. And the same thing could be said for Meet Minerva. I mean, I love in Meet Minerva how she manipulates that newt dog all the way through until the end, and then she gets her comeuppance when she meets her best friend's cousin. And again, just like in Moon Over Minerva, she goes completely zany, and she literally, and you can find this on the YT somewhere or on other video sites, she literally, when she jumps into his arms, literally melts through his arms and through his hands into a big white puddle. Now, unlike the first episode she was in, or the first cartoon she was in, she does reform herself into a big one. I mean, she's just an hilarious character. You think at first she's very snooty and everything. Yeah, she's kind of portrayed that way, but she has a good heart overall. I mean, she does have a good heart. I mean, towards the end of Moon Over Minerva, she kind of has an idea of what's going on and things like that. She's overall a good character, very hilarious character, and that is why she is number 3 on the top 11 animated female countdown. And if I was you, I'd go on certain video sites, type in Moon over Minerva, meet Minerva. If you've not seen the cartoon, I suggest you see it. It will make you laugh. It is hilarious. And that's all I could say.